Hi everybody, it's Sandy Sloan, your Senior Director, here to do your first new stylist training. So first and foremost, I just wanted to say welcome. Welcome to Stella and Dot, to the Sparklets, to literally, I think, the best adventure and business and family you could ever have joined. I've been a stylist for 7.5 years, and it's weird. I actually can't really remember my time before Stella and Dot, nor can I even imagine life without Stella and Dot. It was the unexpected, full-blown joy and sense of accomplishment and friendships made and being able to actually help my family in a time when we all could use extra money. And what started off as just a fun little side thing for me to go out and, I don't know, the jewelry looked cute. It seemed like fun. I like hanging out with girls. I like drinking. I like playing with jewelry and, playing dress up. And I love gifting jewelry. And my husband said, why not? Why don't you just try it? And so I did. And I had very few expectations other than that I would always earn the maximum that I could. And at the time, we couldn't earn more than 30%. You're so lucky that you're able to earn between 25 and 35% on your personal sales. But when I first started, the maximum was 30%. So I wasn't envisioning that I would end up earning every single trip. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't leave money on the table and that I would push for that 30% if I could, because it's so easy to get there. And that's actually, for those of you who are brand new, only $2,500 in sales. So I just love that you've taken this leap, and I want you to absolutely make the very most of it. Your jump start that you're in right now, it's your first 60 days, is kind of the golden period. If you ask every stylist that has been around if there's anything that they would do differently, every single one of them would say, I wish I had maximized my jump start. With the exception of a few. I can think of a few on our team that killed it. But a lot of people would say, I wish I could do my jump start all over again and not squander that opportunity, because on top of your normal cash commissions that you earn, this is a period of time when Stella and Dot really wants to help you to build your sample display and not have you spend more capital on your business that way, and instead build your display through earning free product credits, which is fantastic. And you can earn hundreds to thousands in sample credits. So why not actually earn thousands? So before we get started about that, going back to how I got started and what I wanted out of this business, what I first started with quickly changed. And I really wanted a chance to just get out of the house and maybe make a little extra cash so that I could buy some things without feeling very guilty. But once I saw my earning power, and I was having a blast, and my friends loved it, and I was having such a great time connecting and making new friends, my why changed. And then it's changed so many times over the last 7.5 years. So as you're doing this, first thing that you really want to ask yourself is, what inspired you to become a stylist? Why did you sign up? Was it because you wanted a chance to get out of the house? Because, being a full-time stay-at-home mother is the hardest job in the world, if that's what you are. Or have children and you have a full-time job and you just need something that's actually just for yourself. So that could be it. It could be to make extra money. It could be because you're trying to buy a house, or you're trying to buy a boat for your husband, or you're trying to pay for your honeymoon or your wedding or IVF treatments. So it could be a lot of things, and just keep in mind, maybe it's you've moved to a new place and you want to meet new friends, or you live in an old place and you want to get out of your rut and meet new friends. So Stella and Dot can be so much to you, and I want you to just sit down and think about that and think about why you joined, because every success story always starts with a vision. And when you pulled the trigger and you did this, you had an idea of what you thought this could do for you. So go back to that, because that's really important, and it's what's going to motivate you to make the most of your jump start. So let's go ahead and get started about that. Before we talk about Jumpstart, I just want to share what's possible. We recently had an amazing success story. Kendall Barnett just joined on May 6th, and she shot for it. And there are 3 levels of your Jumpstart, and level 3 is when you sell at least $10,000, and if you do, you'll get 20% of your total sales in product credit back to you. So she thought, why not go for that? Why don't I do, 11, 12, whatever trunk shows it's going to take, and sell 10,000 at least, so that I can get at least $2,000 in product credits. And then on top of that, she went for promoting to associate stylist during her jumpstart, which afforded her another $800 in product credits. To me, that's sort of like the easiest and fastest way to earn product credits. So why wouldn't you bring just one friend along and have someone that you can piggyback with and share and pace with and have fun talking about with Stella and Dot, and maybe talk about, you know, even share your jewelry if you need to. That is a great way. I always think that everything is so much more fun with a girlfriend. You know, I'm still in that stage of life where even though we all have phones, like I like actually talking to people one-on-one even more. So if I'm going to the bathroom, I'm still saying, hey, do you want to come with me? It's like a potty party. So everything is always more fun with a girlfriend, and you will find that when you have someone that you bring along, whether it's an actual good girlfriend of yours or someone you just met, an acquaintance, somebody else's friend's sister, whatever it might be, it really is so much more fun when you have this to share with, and it actually helps you learn more, learn faster, and do better. Okay. So when I said to you that my earning power, I couldn't believe what it was, really, we have an amazing way just to earn a quick $500 or $1,000 a month very easily. In my first month, I actually earned almost $2,000, and I was kind of blown away by that. So I was no longer thinking about that this could actually buy a pair of shoes or a pair of boots. I wasn't thinking that I could spend on my two little girls and dress them up and make them look darling without feeling guilty. And I was no longer thinking about how my earnings might be able to pick up an extra, you know, ballet class or ballroom dancing class or something like that for my kids. Instead, I was thinking, whoa, okay, wait a minute, that just happened in 1 month. But let's just hypothetically say that I could actually do this every month. So if I could earn $2,000 every single month by replicating what I just did, that would mean $24,000 in a year, and or maybe even a little more. And at the time, this is, you know, almost 8 years ago, at the time I was thinking, wow, I could actually pay for one tuition. Now tuition's gone up. But I was thinking I could pay for one private school tuition. So that is what drove me, and I'll have you know that that's what shifted, right? That became my why, that was my drive, because if I didn't pay for my kids' private school here in San Francisco, there was a very strong possibility we would have to move out of the city. And it really meant a lot to me to raise my children here, and for us to have the lifestyle that we want and to be close to a lot of culture and arts. And that's a big, big, big thing for my family, and it literally is part of our soul. So that touched such a deep part for us. That is why I want you to think about, why did you join and what does this do for you? So really that's like what's possible. And since then the business has grown more and more and more. You by no means are required to build a team. You're not required to have people under you. This is not what we are about. We truly live by our mission that this is your business your way. So let's go ahead and get started building your business your way. But I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't let you know all the things that you could get as perks along the way, from, you know, extra sales or extra programs that we have, or bringing people on board. So a couple of ways to earn. I've told you that you earn between 25% and 35% based on your personal sales. Really go look into that in your compensation so you know where the triggers are. But the first trigger is when you sell $2,500, that gets you 30% in your earnings. The second thing that I want you to know is that we have something called a Style Fix Pass. And so even after your Jumpstart, but while you're in your Jumpstart, you're also earning this. It's based on a quarter system. So we are right now in August, we're in the second month of the third quarter. So every month of the quarter, if you sell at least $500, you're going to earn your $500 for $99 only Style Fix Pass, meaning you get $500 in samples for only $99 cash. That's 80% off retail. If you just sell $500 in one of those months and you don't, over that period of that quarter, cumulatively at least sell $3,000, then you will earn a different Style Fix, which is $200 in samples for $69. However, as I was saying, you can actually earn the $500 for $99 Style Fix Pass, either by doing $500 plus in sales per month or cumulatively selling at least $3,000 in sales per month. And this is a fantastic way for you to do a style refresh for your samples and always have something new to show people, so that if a customer came to a trunk show in August and then books a trunk show for October or goes to a trunk show in October, she's going to be able to see something new because we come out with a capsule collection for holiday in October, for example, and then the spring collection comes out in January. Okay. So that's how you earn product credits. The other way you earn product credits besides during your Jumpstart is that every time you sell at least $5,000, you become what you call a stellar seller, and you get another your commission goes up to 32%, and then you get $100 in product credit. And if you get the next 5,000 tier, which is 10,000 in sales, you're going to get 35% in sales of your commissions in sales, and you're going to get $200 in product credits. So those are ways to earn product credits ongoing, as well as increase your commissions. And last but not least, we're going to talk about your Jumpstart. Your Jumpstart has two components to it, actually really three. The first component is split into two. It's your sales component. So if you can sell at least $1,000 by your 30th day in the business, so day 1 is the day that you signed up, day 30 is day 30, counting from the first day you signed up, you will hit your quick start bonus, and that gets you an extra $100 in product credit. And then you start to earn your Jumpstart credits, and you start only getting 10% of your sales, and then at 5,000 you get 15%, and at 10,000 plus you get 20%. So I always say, for me, like, okay, we talked about Kendall and how she promoted to associate stylist during the Jumpstart, which we can talk about later, but that was a quick, $800 shopping spree she earned just for bringing somebody along that she met at a trunk show who thought this would be fun to do, and helping her get launched and selling at the same time. And it's not, and cumulatively they did at least $2,500 in sales as a team, and she ends up earning $800 in product credit. Not so shabby, right? So that seems to me sort of the fastest way to earn product credit while also loving this business and having fun and sharing the joy with somebody. If it were me and you were my sister or my best friend joining, I would absolutely tell you to do that, and I would absolutely tell you to shoot for level 3. Because what do you have to lose? All you have to do is go out there and book trunk shows and do trunk shows and have fun styling people and hanging out with women and having a great time and building that momentum for your business. And along the way, with all those earnings that you're getting, which is going to be thousands and thousands of dollars that you're earning, you're also going to get tons and tons of product credit, so you don't have to spend any more money on your samples. So I would definitely shoot for 10,000. For some people that's going to be like 8 or 9 trunk shows. For other people that could be 13 trunk shows. At the end of the day, what have you got to lose but to shoot for the moon? And if you miss, you're going to land among the stars. And speaking of star, that is the one thing I would have you check in with your sponsor about and talk to her about what is a star stylist, because that is the sweet spot in a compensation plan. And it's a great way to have a part-time business and earning, several $1,000s per month just from doing this business as a solid part-time business. And it's fantastic, and it's what I shot for. After I was in the business for like 2 months, I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. I want to do that. So how are you going to make money? You're going to book trunk shows. And how are you going to book trunk shows? Well, to get on this call, the homework was to make sure that you had your new Who Do You Know list done. And the Who Do You Know list can be done so many different ways. My 2 favorite ways, one is to follow the Frank rule: friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and then K can be a K or a C. So K would be the people you know through your kids, and C would be other people that you know through your community. For me, that actually makes it very succinct, and I kind of like to be much more detailed when I'm thinking about social groups. So I'm more like, okay, what am I involved in and who do I know? Well, I know people through this kid. So that's one grouping. I know people through that kid. That's one grouping. But I know people from that kid from preschool versus from elementary school versus high school. So those are those groupings. Then there's the neighbors, and there's the people I did community nonprofit work with. And then there's my women's group. And then there's the book club. And then there's the people that I know through the gym, and so on and so forth. So you get my gist. We women, we have a village. And so, then there's also, by the way, the service people. So my dental hygienist, your hairdresser, your nail technician, nail salon that you go to. Just to think of your doctors, think about the people that you see and frequent, even if it's every half a year or even every year. These are still people that you know. Often people get caught up with the who do you know list and they think, okay, well, I'm going to exclude someone I'm not really good friends with or that I haven't seen in 3 years. My previous coworkers that I used to be friendly with, but we're just Facebook friends with now. I'm not going to get in touch with her. And I'm going to also kick off of my who do you know list and leave off Sally, because Sally doesn't wear jewelry at all. I've never seen her wearing a lick of jewelry. And Tasha, because Tasha just doesn't look cute. I mean, like, she's just totally granola. She wouldn't love this stuff. Stop prejudging. Okay, I have made so many mistakes by prejudging people and assuming that they would not be interested or assuming that they would not buy. And we are now in a position with our accessories brand that we have just about everything a woman could want. Maybe she doesn't like jewelry, but she needs a handbag. Maybe she doesn't like jewelry, but she loves scarves. Maybe, she's in the market for a new pair of sunglasses. She's actually never invested in something actually nice beyond the $10 pair that she pulled off the grocery store, and she fell in love with ours. Like, you just don't know. Maybe it's somebody who needs a gift for somebody else. Maybe she doesn't love this stuff for herself, but she wants gifts for somebody else. So don't prejudge people off the list. Your who do you know list is who do you know, not who would love my stuff, not who would book a trunk show with me, not who are my best friends and my closest members of my family. This is who literally do you know the name of, where you could get her contact information or you have her contact information. Okay, so you're going to do that and think about splitting that so that we can really focus on your Power of 4 launch plan. And you're not going to be motivated. Truly, I'm going to be honest with you, like totally bare bones. We're going to go back a little bit to the why. You're not going to be motivated to actually work on booking trunk shows unless you think again about what motivates you. Like, is it fun? Is it fashion? Is it mentoring others? Is it new skills? Is it empowering people? Is it the financial rewards? Is it friendship? Think about what's really important to you, what's your why, and how is that going to translate into success in Stella and Dot, especially during your jumpstart, because that's really what's going to drive you to book these trunk shows. So, what do you want for you or your family that you currently don't have, whether that's an experience or something that you need, and why is that important to you? And is it something you really feel like, oh man, that would so enhance our lives. That is something we can't live without. Or maybe you can think of it this way. Power 4 launch plan is really booking 4 trunk shows in 4 different social groups, 1 a week in 4 weeks. So if you did 4 trunk shows in 4 weeks, you would most likely, I'm going to say right now, most likely earn on average $1,000 that month. Okay, so what would you do with an extra $1,000 per month? That's $12,000 a year. We're not talking chump change here. Or shoot really high. What would you do with an extra $5,000 a month? Is that something you're interested in? So really think about that so that you can set some jumpstart goals for yourself, because what you do in jumpstart will be super critical to how your business goes. I'm telling you right now, we've done a lot of study on this. We've done the stats, and we have seen that people who do on average at least 5 trunk shows are the people that go on to have a fairly strong, robust, happy business that picks up in momentum and continues on. So I encourage you to go through your jumpstart plan with your sponsor and set some jumpstart goals for yourself. And once you do that, you're building a relationship. She's mentoring you. She knows what you need, and you guys can build your jumpstart plan together. But you really want to start strongly, so you want to have at least 4 social circles where you can call people and book trunk shows with them. And the idea is this. Think of your business as, think of your jumpstart as the roots of a really strong tree that you want to grow. And when I was a kid and I would draw a tree, there literally would be like the 4 things, and then the trunk would go up. So I want you to think of those 4 main big roots as your first 4 trunk shows. And you really, most people say, gosh, how do I get out of my friends and family? Or, how do I make sure that I'm not always just doing trunk shows with my friends? I want to really make this a business, or I want people to feel like, I take it or leave it, but, Sandy's got a pretty robust business. And this is how I did it. You always start with trunk shows. But by the way, at the time, I didn't know. We hadn't even come up with a Power 4 launch plan yet. That wasn't in our training. It was just sort of like, once you sat down and thought about it, it was very common sense, right? If you do a trunk show with somebody in different social circles, you're always going to meet people that you don't know. So sure, for example, you have a family member and that person's going to invite a ton of people. There are going to be other family members there, and those are your A circle, the people you know really well. And then they're going to be your hostess, your family member, your hostess's friends that you see very frequently at gatherings that she has. And so they might be the B circle, sort of on an acquaintance level. You say hi, you pick up conversations from where you left behind. Maybe you have their contact information, maybe you're Facebook friends, maybe you're not. And then there's always going to be other people there that you've never seen before, and those are your C circle. So if you did this with 4 different social groups, you are going to have a lot of B and C circles. And I'm thinking, all your friends and family, these are people that you have contact information for. That's easy. That's in your back pocket. That's much more, from the big picture, much more low-hanging fruit. The people you don't have access to are those B circles sometimes, and especially those C circles. So this is what you want to do. You want to maximize your opportunity to get in front of people you don't know. And then when you're at those trunk shows, that's where you're going to keep your attention and really build relationships, get to know them, spend time with them, talk to them, style them, get to know about their lives. This is your one shot. So that is one of the reasons why you want to do as many trunk shows as possible during your jumpstart, and you want to span it out across all the people you know. So make sure that you are offering the hostess opportunity. And when you're calling people, you want to make sure that you're also cognizant of the jumpstart rewards and the fun and joy of building a team. Because if you're doing that, and let's say somebody on your social circle is somebody that you think, oh my God, she would love this. She's so cute. She knows everybody. She's so stylish. Like, I totally want to do a trunk show with her. Take a moment, take a deep breath, and then go, wait, she's so cute. She's so stylish. She knows everybody. I want to do a trunk show with her for those reasons. But you know what? She should also become a stylist. She'd be so good. She'd be so successful. If that's your first gut instinct, don't second guess yourself. Don't go, oh my God, but I don't want to cannibalize my own business. I don't want to talk myself out of a trunk show. Instead, offer her the opportunity first, actually. It's so easy to just say, Lisa, you know what? I just got started with Stella and Dot. Have you heard of it before? Shut your mouth. Hear what she has to say. If she says no, you can go on and gush. If she says yes, you can say, okay, what do you think? Have you seen the jewelry before? Oh my God, I'm so excited because I got all this free stuff. I had to call you right away. What do you think? Because you're so stylish. Ask for her opinion. Make sure it's a conversation. You're trying to feel her out, but you're not going to not say what you called to say no matter what she says. But it's always good to kind of know what she says, what her feelings are. And then I would just say, listen, I have to tell you something. I thought you'd love it because you're so cute. You're so stylish. You have so many friends, and I was gonna call you to do a trunk show with you, but then I was like, oh my God, what a disservice I would be doing to Lisa. I think you should do the same thing I'm doing. Like, you'd love all the free jewelry that I got, and you'd love to do this with your girlfriends. Take a look at this information. I'm gonna send you some stuff, and then let's connect back and maybe have coffee or something and see what you think. If the person is really not interested, right then and there, they'll say, you're so cute. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. This is not for me, or now's not the right time. But you know what? I heard you say something about a trunk show. Tell me about that. And then you can book a trunk show with that. So it's a win-win is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a little awkward if you lead with a hostessing opportunity first and then you go to becoming a stylist. So start with that stylist opportunity, because if the person says no, you can always book a trunk show with them. Okay. So how are you going to book trunk shows? Well, first thing you're going to do also is you're going to control your calendar. So you have your who do you know list. You've identified probably the most important people that you want to reach out to, because you in your mind think that they are low-hanging fruit. You're like, that's my best friend. Of course she's going to do a trunk show with me. And that's my sister or mom. Of course she's going to do a trunk show with me. And like, this girl always looks so fantastic. She's going to be somebody who would die to do a trunk show, right? So you've got the story that you've told yourself in your head, and you've really got invested in the story. I know, I've been there. So I'm telling you, I know what you're talking about. And then you reach out to them, and maybe a couple of them say yes. Woohoo, we're so excited. And maybe the person you thought for sure was going to say yes says no. Don't let that tank your spirits. Speaking from experience, don't take it personally. Don't stay so vested. It isn't normal for every single person who you know to do a trunk show. It isn't normal for every person you think would like to do a trunk show, because timing is everything, and we all have things going on in our lives. Some people have anxiety, some people feel weird about it. And the bottom line is that most no's are a not now or a I don't know. I'm kind of unsure. Tell me more. I kind of have some anxiety. I'm a little nervous about this. I need more information. And so it's up to you, and we're going to do this on our next call about overcoming objections. It's going to be up to you to get adept at overcoming those objections. But right now, all I want you to do is remember Sandy said, get a thick skin, water rolling off your back, not a problem, move on. So don't get so vested in your ideal group. If that person says no in that social group, move on to the next one, okay? Deal? All right, so once you do that, you've got your who do you know list. You're also going to need to have your calendar. And I really want you to have 3 calendars with you. You want the month of August, and you want the month of September and October. But really, I kind of don't want October to be touched. I really want you to have August and September, because that's your jump start. And also, sometimes, August, it's people are still in summer vacation and whatnot. It's a loosey-goosey time. Maybe they are not interested, but they're totally interested in September. You want your September calendar ready to go. So what I want you to do is actually print out a calendar, right, for that month. Look at your personal calendar. If you're married, your partner's calendar. If you've got kids, look at what they have. They're going back to school, the back to school nights, whatever it is. Go through your calendar and absolutely cross out the days that you cannot do trunk shows. If you are really someone who likes to have true calendar control, you can even put in the date nights that you have with your husband, or if you have book club, put that in there, and different color coordinating if you want to. But at the bottom line is crossing out the dates that you absolutely cannot do trunk shows, and then highlighting the dates that you're ideally wanting to book trunk shows, because it's great to have a system. You don't want to do trunk shows any old time when somebody can do it. It's hard on you, hard on your family. Also, it makes it look like it's not that exclusive. The harder it is to get on your calendar, it's actually the easier you'll find it to book, because then people look at it and they're like, oh my God, look at, she's all booked up. I got to get on that if I want my space. So you want to have calendar control, marking out the days that you want to do your calendar. The other thing that happens is once you can see that visually in front of you, it's very easy when you're talking to somebody to then pick a date that's within 7 to 10 days first, instead of trying to figure out in your head and then doing what's safe and shooting something 3 weeks out. Because if somebody says no, due to the fact that that date doesn't work very well for them, they usually don't spit something back to you on a date that's sooner, right? They'll normally say, well, that doesn't work. How about we look about 6 weeks out then into September? And that's not what you want. You want to do trunk shows sooner, because you'll meet new people, and from those trunk shows, easily book another trunk show that's within 2 weeks. That's really what you're looking to do. So I find that it's easiest for me when I talk to someone, I'm like, when do you like to get together with girlfriends? Are you kind of like a weekend girl, or do you prefer weeknights, kind of, girls' night out, or wine and cheese, or a style makes me happy hour? What floats your boat? And then they say to me, oh, I definitely like a girls' night out, like a Wednesday night or a Thursday night. I go, fantastic. What are you doing next Wednesday? That's my first Wednesday that's available, right? I look at my calendar. I see my Wednesdays available. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I've got Wednesday next week or Thursday next week. They're actually both open, which is never happening. But what are you doing? Right? Because we're not looking for perfect attendance. 25 to 35% of the people invited actually show up. It doesn't matter when you do it. It doesn't matter if you give people 3 months notice, which is awful actually, or you give them, 1 week notice. 25 to 35% of the people you invite will show up. It's just going to be a different mix. So you may as well be the boss, be the professional, tell her what's up, tell her how to do it. She's looking to you for direction. So I want to share with you probably my favorite way to book a trunk show. Honestly, I think that what's really less effective, but a lot of people are doing more these days, is you're hiding behind your screen and you're worried that someone's going to say no, and you don't want to hear that in person, and so you do something like send out an email. Well, that doesn't work very well. Right, and then you think like, why hasn't anybody responded? An email, especially a mass email, is probably the worst thing possible. It'll tank. If you send out a personal email, that's okay. Let's consider that a warm-up, but you've got to follow up. People are busy. People don't read all their emails on time. People don't even read their emails sometimes once they see it, and they're like, okay, I'm not even sure I'm interested in this, but this is not important or critical to what I need to do right now, so I'm going to like put that away for a bit. And then another 50 emails come in and you've completely forgotten it. Why do I know this? Because that's the position I'm in now. It's not how I started in this business, but now I'm getting so many more emails than I ever did when I first started that it's just overwhelming my inbox. And, you know, that is just what I have to do to prioritize. And so if something is not super critical, I will ignore it. And sometimes I don't even go back to it. I try to flag them, but sometimes there's so many new emails that come in, I don't even see the ones I flagged unless I scroll down. And not everybody, you know, I run a full-time business. So if I'm not especially strong at doing that, can you imagine someone who's not running a full-time business, or, you know, not heading different committees and really looking out for stuff? They're probably not checking their emails very often, and certainly not being very good about keeping up with the things that they haven't responded to in a while. So if you are going to send out an email because it makes you feel better to just warm somebody up that way, make sure you're following up within 48 hours. My favorite way to book, to sponsor, whatever it might be, I find that I am so much stronger in person. So my first choice will always to be like face-to-face over coffee, sitting on the sideline, watching the soccer game, sitting outside the ballet room door, you know, at a friend's house, at a lunch, whatever it is, at drop-off, at pickup. In person is best. And then over the phone is next best. And then once I've made contact with people, I don't have a problem shifting the discussion to texting, but I really feel like our business is a person-to-person business, and that's where we build our relationships. And the best way is actually, and I don't even have a lookbook here, but imagine that this is a lookbook. So I would call somebody up, and let's just say, like, I always think about, okay, what are the most important things to getting people to build a connection with you? Well, there's that genuine one-on-one connection, but if you're calling to ask something, right? You know, women don't love to ask for help, so it makes us feel a little bit weird about doing it, but we do love to help. So that's one piece of information I know that I want you to keep in mind. It's hard to ask for help, but people love to help, so you can ask them to help you. Second thing is, who doesn't love to start off a conversation feeling amazing about themselves? So, you know, when you are about to ask, if you can pay somebody a genuine, authentic compliment and not just empty flowering, but something that's really specific to them and that's really heartfelt, it'll put them in a fantastic frame of mind. And then the third thing is to remember that we're all busy, but women in particular, coming from the hunter and gatherer days, we're the gatherers, and our minds are like this. And, you know, in the hunter days, the hunters are like this. They're like very laser focused. So if you say to somebody, when do you want to do a trunk show? They're going to be like, oh my God, then school started. Then this starts. And then they start this. And then they start that. I'm thinking November, right? That's not going to help you. You don't want a November trunk show. So, I mean, you'll want a November trunk show, but not right now. Right now, you want August. So you want to help them laser focus on two choices always. Help somebody zone in on choice A or choice B. Either one works for you. You're super happy. But don't leave it just open-ended because it's not going to work out for you. So keeping those three things in mind, if I saw a gal on my list who's super cute, super fashionable, has great taste, I would actually call her up and say those things. Like after we caught up and chit-chatted, let's say her name is Lisa, and we've chit-chatted and we've caught up, I'd say, hey, Lisa, listen, I am calling you actually for a specific reason. I needed help. You know, I just recently started a business with Stella and Donna, and I'm trying to pick up my samples. And I'm just kind of feeling a little at loss. I mean, I know what I love, but you have such great great taste and you always look so good. When I thought, oh my God, who can help me with this? You immediately came to mind. And I would love to come by and like share the lookbook with you and have you help me pick out things that I definitely need for my display. I can be in your area next week or this Friday actually, or next Monday. What works better for you? So I asked for help, I paid her a genuine compliment, and then I gave her two choices. I can be there on Friday or I can be there on Monday. What works better, right? You could even get into a conversation, hey, by the way, have you heard about Stella and Dot? But that's the gist of what I'm saying is maybe you're now going to call Sophie. And Sophie is, let's say Sophie is like the hostess with the mostest, right? She's like somebody who just loves to have any old party, anything. So you could actually approach Sophie so many ways. I mean, if she likes jewelry, you could talk about that. If she likes accessories, you could talk about our accessories that way. If it doesn't matter, she just like needs no excuse and just wants to have a party, you could talk about that. I might say, hey, Sophie, it's Sandy. Let's catch up. And then I'll say, hey, listen, Sophie, I'm calling you because you know what? You are literally in our community the hostess with the mostest. I mean, everyone loves to come to your house. You're just the best hostess ever. Everyone just like has such a great time when they leave. And I'm launching my new business. And when I first started, my God, who do I want to gift, on average $250 in products to for helping me launch my business and, introducing me and Stella and Dot to all her friends. You immediately pop to mind because like everyone loves your parties. So I want to come over and show you this stuff in person. When's better for you? Next Tuesday or next Friday? Or you can jump right next to it. Like, wouldn't that be fun? It'd be so much fun to get together with you and your friends. You'd love it. What works best for you when you're having your parties? I tend to go to your house on a Wednesday night, but do you prefer like weeknights or do you prefer something on a weekend? Like you could just jump to it. You don't actually have to like sit down in person and go through the lookbook or show it to her. Just like dive right in. If she doesn't even know what Stella and Dot is, like get her online with you and show. Like be excited. Your enthusiasm, your positivity, your high energy is going to be actually the infectious thing that books your trunk shows with you. It's not your knowledge. It's not, are you speaking concisely? When I started booking trunk shows, I mean, I'm trying to be slower in my conversation right here because I know you're listening to me. But when I'm on the phone, I speak pretty fast because that helps me to get my excitement and energy level up. I smile all the time because that makes me sound more endearing. It changes your pitch in your voice and people can tell when you're smiling and they can tell when you're happy and they want to be around happy people. So I'm not sitting there being very deliberate. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just super excited, going at it with full force and boldly, and I'm talking really fast. And I find that when I talk really fast, people just, okay. And they do the same thing. It's worked for me. I'm sure it'll work for you too. So, if you've got somebody who's like a gung-ho person, happy-go-lucky, great hostess, knows a lot of people, dive right in and go right into asking them to book a trunk show like that in person or over the phone. If I was going to meet with somebody first though, and I needed their opinion on my jewelry, then when I go meet with them, I'm going to ask them, look, here's my lookbook. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. I knew you'd be exactly the person to help me, and thank you. I really appreciate it. Here, I think this is what's going to happen and be easiest. If we can just like go through this book really fast, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but anything that's like a 9 or a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh my God, I have to have it. That is to die for. Like, just tell me your 9s and your 10s. Don't tell me your 1s. Those are the things you wouldn't be caught dead wearing. Then that'll probably be the easiest thing for us to do. Right, so then I've got my lookbook. I've got a paper pad. We're in person. I'm writing down everything she says. Visually, she now can see just how much she likes. And if it's an expensive item, I can even ask her, what do you think of the price? Okay, what if it was like half off? Because, hostesses get half off items too. But I've got it. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, but in sales, we used to say, if I say it because I'm the person in sales, I'm the salesperson, if I say it, I could be lying. But if my customer says it, then it's the truth. So when I have this visual in front of that person, she can see, oh my gosh, I really like that much stuff. If I was doing this over the phone and I was having my prospective hostess flip through the online lookbook together with me, and I'm writing down the things that she really likes, I tell her also to keep a list. Like, okay, you make a list too. You tell me what you really like, and I'm making a list. I want to make sure that I haven't missed anything. So write it down as you're telling it to me, because I really want her to have that visual. Like, do you have your paper? You got your pen? Okay, let's go. Right? So once she has that, it's very genuine and easy for you to then say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing this with me. I knew you'd be the right person, and my God, look at how much you love. You know what would be fantastic? This is what I'm going to do for you. Okay? Remember, you're not doing this for me. You're not doing me a favor. I'm not asking you to do a trunk show for me. I never want to hear anybody on my team say that. No one does a trunk show for you. You bring the gift of glam and good times to people. You're doing a trunk show for them. Right? So this is what I want to do for you. I'm going to bring it over to your house. We're going to have so much fun trying it all on together with you and some of your friends. And I'm going to get these things that are on your list that you love for you for free and half off. Like, Stella and Dot's going to give me all this stuff to give away. Might as well make you one of them since you helped me out. When do you like to get together with your girlfriends? Do you love like a weeknight girls' night out, or do you prefer kind of like bubbles and bling on a Sunday morning? You gave two choices. You zip your mouth and you wait. The hardest thing that you have to do. Thank God you're not going to be booking a trunk show over Zoom, right? If you're on the phone and you find it hard, I literally, stick your fist in your mouth and stop talking. It's like another sales 101, when you put out an ask, the first person who speaks loses. Don't let that be you. So as uncomfortable or as long as that silence is, let that person speak first, okay? She has a choice to make. Either choice A is better for her or choice B is better for her. You're going to be happy. Or neither works. Here's choice C. Choice C could be, I'm not interested. Choice C could be, you know what, this doesn't work. Can we look at the next 2 weeks out? Or choice C could be, can you tell me a little bit more about that? I'm not sure what I have to do, right? I need some more information. Any of that's fine. So, that's really the strongest way to book trunk shows. You get in front of people, you help them make a wish list. It's really, really hard for them to look at the stuff and say no. Excuse me. Okay, I think I really just kind of want to leave it here because next week I really want to go to how you overcome objections, but there's so many different ways to book trunk shows, and you just want to remember that there's like a three-step process. Make your prospective list, your who do you know list. Turn the people on your list into warm leads if you want. If not, and you want to just directly call them, you can too, but then you've got to follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. And if you're going to send a warm-up, you want to warm up within 48 hours. And then you really want to follow up with either a call or a conversation in person. And you can actually shoot ahead online in Stellaverse and go look at this area that's about overcoming objections. There's a great video that's, if you go to Stellaverse, you got to go to training and resources. And then in training and resources, you want to go to the next tab that says trunk shows. When you open up trunk shows, on the left-hand side will be all these videos, and one of them is overcoming objections. And Danielle teaches you a great way on overcoming objections. And on next week's call, I will go more in-depth also on how you can overcome objections. So this week's challenge for everybody that watches this is to reach out to 10 people on your who do you know list, at least 10 people, to actually reach out, even with a warm-up and a follow-up, at least 10 people so that you can get started booking your trunk shows. Good luck.